Ladies and gentlemen, we captured the following recording just moments ago. It is a real, true look at raw human emotion. For the sake of its educational value, we will not be censoring this in any way. So any 6-year-olds riding in their vehicles with their fathers should plug their ear holes now. You weird kid. It's Giant Cocktails, bottled in bond.
Okay, well, now we got that out of the way. So, intro. Good, mid, bad?
Don't you fucking start with me. What are you what? No. Don't you? No. No, look, I know that I made a joke about it, and I know that I was crybaby about it, but what are you fucking talking about, dude? They just got swept by the douchebags. What are you fucking talking about right now?
So, not good, is what you're saying.
No, not good.
All right, Bob, hit it.
Welcome to Giant Cocktails, where the humor is elite, but the baseball sucks. Oh yeah, here are your hosts, Ben and Matthew Henry.
Welcome to episode 368 of Giant Cocktails. Why? Because it's not about the Giants, and it's not even about the cocktails. It's not even about the listeners. All the swag you guys send us, the money that we have to pay. It's about the brotherly banter and the good memories. Matthew Atlee Hammaker had a 368 on base percentage for the 1989 Giants, National League champions. The pitcher had 23 plate appearances and got 7 hits. That's like a good season if you are Patrick Bailey. A double and 3 RBIs. I mean, it was a good season for Atlee Hammaker. I think that's the point of the line, right?
It is.
His slash line was 368, 421 for an OPS plus of 129. Atlee Hammaker, 29% better than the average major league hitter in 1989. That might be a reason why they went to the World Series.
I would take a full team of Atlee Hammakers at this point, Ben.
I would too. I just wouldn't let him play in the All-Star game.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to have one in there, but they'd probably want to make him the starter, and I'd just be like, no, let's not do that. But yeah, I would take, Atlee Hammaker at his best was pretty darn good. I mean, give me some Atlee Hammaker, give me some Dave Dravecky. That's a team with gumption and skill.
Well, and can handle a bat, too. Forget this whole DH thing.
Yeah, you know what, Matthew? I'd take any one of those 3 qualities on the current San Francisco Giants, who are currently lacking in all 3.
Agreed.
Yes.
Enough with the banter. Let's talk cocktails.
Thank you, Bob.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Bob, today I am so depressed, Bob, I don't even want to drink. That's how depressed I am. That's how sad I am. That's how down in the dumps the 2026 San Francisco Giants have me. I don't even want to drink alcohol. I thought about going to the store just to get a beer so that when you ask me, what are you drinking, Ben? I'd be like, oh, I'm having a beer, Bob. And you'd be like, what kind? And I'd be like, I don't know. The one in the front. But no, I thought I'd drink something else that other people drink that seems equally depressing. It's called a Kalimotxo. Moco? Kalimotxo. Moxto. It's that's what I'm drinking. You'll have to wait all the way till the end of the episode to find out, but here's clue number 1. And no, that wasn't a beer. That was Coca-Cola. And then clue number 2 is Cabernet Sauvignon. But I'm going to add a little something extra special to mine because that just sounds like watered down wine to me. Anyway, Bob, that's what I'm drinking. The Kalimotxo. You'll have to find out what's in it at the end of the episode.
What are you drinking, Matthew?
You pretty much told him what was in it. But what am I drinking, Bob? I'm drinking something called Call It a Night. Because that's how I feel about this Giants team.
It's call it a season, dude.
Call it a season, yeah. So I picked this cocktail solely because of its name. I'll tell you all about it at the end of the episode.
You know what, Matthew? Since I gave my recipe away, I'm going to give your recipe away, too. The secret ingredient in Matthew's cocktail is despair.
Yes, with a little dash of tears.
That's right, yeah. Because Matthew's always crying.
Always, especially when it comes to the Giants.
Big baby. Hang on, I got to taste this thing first. Huh. Okay, I see what people are saying. But, weird. Needs bourbon. Anyway, today is Wednesday, May 20th, as we record this podcast. The San Francisco Giants. They're not mine. They're not yours. They're certainly not ours. The San Francisco Giants went 0-3 this past first half of the week against the DBags in Arizona to bring their record to 20-30. The Giants are 10 games under 500, 50 games into the season. They're better than the Rockies. Bob, don't even think about it. Just put the mic down. Put the microphone down. They're better than the Rockies, but they're not good. They're not good. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Why? Because literally you can't talk about anything else with this team. Or can you? So yeah, we're going to talk about the douchebag series. By the way, when I say douchebags, I just want to be very, very clear. I'm talking about the Arizona Diamondbacks. You know, that team, in case anybody was unclear this year. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk about that series. So we're going to have to focus on some negative stuff. You know, that's what happens when they get swept for Matthew will tell you. But then we're going to try to find a way out of the darkness. Because even though I don't want to drink, even though I'm too sad to drink, I'm drinking. Because that's the kind of man that I am. I'm doing it for you, listeners. And by the second half of the show, I'm going to be happy drunk. So we're going to talk about youth.
Lack thereof.
Matthew's staring at me right now. He's like, no, we're not. No.
I must admit, this is my low point as a podcaster. This might be my low point in the last 20 years.
For your whole life? Like out of every facet of your life?
Yes. You know, I've had some shitty moments in my life in the last 20 years, but
yeah, but this is one of them.
This is one of them.
Folks, if you weren't aware, we take our fandom way too seriously, and that's a good sign. So happy, positive Matthew is dead. He's just dead. He's dead. Buster Posey killed him.
Yeah. I mean, the optimism has seeped out of my soul. There's no more optimism left in me.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that Hector Borg and Tony Vitello also had a hand in it, not to mention Willie Adames and Matt Chapman and Rafael Devers.
Oh, there's a lot of blame to go around. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but connect the dots, folks. All of those things lead back to one place. All of them. There's a man who's running this organization who's trying to do everything he can to ruin his legacy. And he's doing it at a breakneck pace. Breakneck pace. But before we get into that, we have tidbits. Matthew, Willie Mays was awesome.
Willie Mays was awesome. And I typed this tidbit in early in the week. And so it seemed like an interesting thing to me at the time. Now it's just like, hey, isn't that kind of, But I learned this week that the Mets retired Willie Mays' number 24. I mean, not recently, but his number is retired with the New York Mets. He played one season with the Mets when he was like 42 years old. I just found that really interesting that the Mets wanted to co-op Willie Mays in that regard.
He's Willie Mays. He only played for two teams. Oh, hey, look, Matthew, remembering some guys. Can we? No, is that? Did they?
I mean, that's another podcast bit, but sure, why not? Let's just
okay.
co-opt
We
it.
can't just take it.
How about remembering a guy?
Okay, remembering a guy. There's this guy, Matthew, named Kyle Harrison. I don't know if you remember him.
I do remember him. Yeah, he was kind of like a mid, flash in the pan kind of starter. Yeah.
Well, he was a highly touted prospect who not much amounted to him, and then he got traded for a superstar.
Ben, superstar. Quote unquote superstar.
Yes, Matthew's doing strong air quotes. Yeah, an alleged superstar. Anyway, he and then that team traded him for, I think, a bag of bubble gum, a bag of chewed bubble gum. Is I understand what they got back.
Not even a Diet Pepsi machine?
No, that's what was in the Diet Pepsi machine.
It was bubble gum. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was jammed. And that's what was in it. It was, but anyway, Kyle Harrison has been nothing short of a revelation for the Brewers. And in his last start, he went 7 innings, giving up 2 hits and 1 walk, and striking out 11 on 94 pitches. The Giants would still suck if Kyle Harrison was pitching for them. Okay, let's be clear. But we don't know that they wouldn't be better because Bryce Eldridge would have been playing since the beginning of the season and might have heated up by now. And Casey Schmidt would be playing every day too. But anyway, so there's your tidbits, Matthew. That's the good news. Kyle Harrison had a great game. That's it. We're done with the good news. It's time to move on to the douchebag series. There were only douchebags here. I don't even know how to begin or where to begin, Matthew, but we'll begin at the beginning. But yes, as you limber up, I just want to tell you my one takeaway. This is my one takeaway from the whole series.
Okay.
The Giants are bad. The Giants are bad.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Talk to me about game 1.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because game 1, I mean, we're coming off a big win in Sacramento.
A big win where the run differential was +9.
Yes. So I'm thinking this is going to be good. We're on a little run here. I'm a few minutes late to the game, right? I have to make a cocktail. So I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make a quick cocktail before I sit down and watch this game.
Yeah.
I don't even have the game on. I'm like making my old fashioned. I think it was an old fashioned that day. And I'm stirring and I'm, straining and I'm garnishing and spritzing and all that. And then I go and sit down and I turn on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was 1 out already in the first inning. And the Giants were already down 4-0.
4-0.
And I had to rewind to watch the first 6 pitches of that game.
Yeah, you didn't have to rewind very far.
No, just a couple clicks on the remote. and I saw it all. I saw it in reverse and I saw it in real time and it was not pretty. And I immediately turned off the game and me and my partner watched The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Nice. That's a good show.
Yeah, she was headlining, or no, she was doing a show in the Poconos.
Yeah.
And her dad happened to be in the audience. It was not good for her, but
no,
she
it
was hilarious.
It was not good for her. Yeah, I remember that. Spoilers. I think we're supposed to say spoilers. Whatever. Whatever. Yeah. You know what, Matthew? I actually watched more of that game for some reason. I kept it on. And I have to tell you, I saw the Giants play some of the most uninspired baseball that I've seen in a long time. And, it makes sense, right? Like,
No, it doesn't make sense.
No, it does. It does. It's hard to keep your concentration in a game like that. But they're pros. Like, they should be able to do it, right? Like, Brubaker, like, forgetting to cover first base. I saw, and then get this, I saw a D-bag hurt himself legging out a single in the 8th inning.
When it was already like 10-0?
Yeah. So that's how they were playing on the other side. But also not a smart decision. I felt like he probably just could have let himself get thrown out. But no, he came away limping, doing the old Elliot Ramos walk-off. And, but anyway, it was really, really uninspired. And the reason I bring that up, though, is because I want to fast forward to Game 2, right? The Giants have turned more double plays than any other team in Major League Baseball. Did you know that?
I learned that in the broadcast.
Yeah, and they had turned 4 that night, including 2 critical ones on 2 amazing double plays, and it really, really felt like the Giants were going to pull that one out. Unfortunately, the Giants showed how they're bad in another way with their bullpen not being able to put it together. And it was actually 3 guys who, when they were all healthy and good, had actually been pretty good for the Giants. Right? But no. It was definitely one of those moments where, I turned off the TV before the ball hit the fans' hands.
Yeah. So I definitely felt Dwayne Kuiper on his call in that last inning. I mean, he said unbelievable, and then he was quiet for like 20 seconds as Marte rounded the bases. Then he noted that it was Marte's first home run of the year batting right-handed. And then rather disgustingly, he said, I don't have anything else to say. I know you don't either, Kruko or Mike. And then he's like, we're out. And I felt the same way. I was sitting with my girlfriend. We were sitting on the couch, and I just didn't even know what to say.
I had already turned the TV off at that point because
I was like, the remote was kind of far away, and I was a little like, I was a little numb, and just I didn't even know what to do. It was,
and it doesn't matter what happened today, Matthew. The Giants are bad. The Giants are bad. Now, you wrote down most of these lines. Do you want to go through them, or do we want to alternate, or how do we want to go through this revelation? Like, I have just one sort of like I have a way to sum it all up and put a bow on it. I don't know if you just want to do all the hard work.
Oh, okay. Well, I did get to thinking. Like, I did a little breakdown. Like, are the Giants as bad as I think they are? Mm-hmm. And so I started looking into it. The Giants have played 16 series so far, Ben. Okay. Yeah. Surprisingly, they have won 7 of those and split 1. But in the remaining 8 series, they have lost 3 games 5 times. Okay, that means they've been swept 4 times, which is the most in the majors. Mm-hmm. And lost to the Mets 3-1 in a 4-game series.
Yeah.
So when they're bad, they're really bad.
Yeah.
When they're good, they're kind of good.
Oh,
like
don't
squeak by being good.
They're
but
not.
When they're bad, they're just really bad. And they can't make up for that. Ben, they have a 5.7% chance to make the playoffs. And the only reason it's that high is because they have the easiest strength of schedule in the National League for the rest of the season. They also have the worst or the hardest strength of schedule so far this year. Mm-hmm. But the eye test shows you how they're just bad. It's not that they're playing good teams.
They're bad. All right, the next one's mine.
Okay.
The Giants are 20-30. That means they played 10. They played 5 stretches of 10 games. But if you move the lens around, they have lots of different areas where you could look at 10-game stretches, Matthew. Throughout the entire season, the Giants have only 2 10-game stretches where they've won more than 5 games. They won 7 games from April 16th through April 26th. Now,
the good old days.
What's that? The good
old days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they won 7 games. They went 7-3 in that 10-game stretch. Now, they had another stretch where they won 6 games. But that stretch was from April 17th through the 28th. They had a day off in there. So what that means is...
It's the same stretch. It's the same stretch.
It's the same stretch. So they've actually only done it once. They've only won more than 5 games in a 10-game stretch once this season. What that tells me, Matthew, is you can't even pretend that this team is good. I think I remember reading a Brisbee article about how, like, the Giants feel like they could be good. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what are you smoking, Grant? No, they don't. This team never looks good. They sometimes look mediocre. But they never look good. Not ever.
And you're focusing on this season, and I think we need to like just bring the microscope back and look at kind of a bigger segment of the last 10 years. Ben,
that's what I like about you, Matthew. You're always like, go big or go home.
Well, the point is the Giants haven't been bad just for this year. They've been bad for the last 10 years. The Giants have only one winning season in the last 10 years. And we can all be like, woohoo, 2021, where we lost in the first round of the playoffs. But it's ridiculous that the Giants have only had one winning season. Now, they've had a couple of 500 seasons. You know, that's what keeps us within that homeostasis realm. But they're not winning seasons. And we seem to be, as Giants fans, going around beating our chests at the Giants, 3-time World Series champions. Well, that was a long time ago, folks. And in the last 10 years, we've been bad. And it's not getting better, it's getting worse. You kicked some sand on Buster Posey earlier, and I'm reluctant to do so. But at this point, there isn't anyone else to blame.
This is Buster's show.
It is. Like, you want the job, Buster. Now you got to wear it. And not only are we, every move that Buster has made has backfired. We got new manager who doesn't know what he's doing.
No idea what he's doing.
Coaches who don't seem to know what they're doing.
Because they were hired by that manager.
So this season alone, with learning curves and all, is a disaster. And you can't tell me that they expected this. You know, they thought that this hotshot new manager was going to come in and inject some energy into the team, and that poor Bomel couldn't do, and now the Giants were going to win. And it has just been a disaster. And I don't know if you can entirely blame it on Vitello, but you can't absolve him from all this either.
No, for sure. He hasn't done anything to make it better. If he's done anything, it's made it worse. I totally agree with you. I mean, I think there's a lot about this team that is sort of confounding, right? Which is like, I don't think anybody would have expected Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, and Rafael Devers all to be this bad this early in these contracts. But I don't think anybody is surprised that these contracts that Buster took on went bad. Right? I think nobody's really surprised about that. So on the one hand, you can say, look, the guys who were supposed to produce didn't. I think ultimately the blame for all of this has to go back up to the front office, and not just Buster, right? It's not like Farhan left a whole lot of good pieces around, but he did leave Kyle Harrison around.
Well, I think it goes back even farther than that. I'm still looking at this whole 10-year thing. And Ben, the Giants historically over the last 10 years have swung and missed on their first round draft pick each and every year. The last first round picks to reach arbitration for the Giants were Joe Panic and Buster Posey. Okay. Now, Elliot Ramos will be eligible after this season, and Bailey would have been. Okay. But when you are whiffing on a decade worth of first round picks, you cannot expect your front office to make up for that. Free agents like that don't come around. You've got to, especially hitters. Nobody wants to come to Oracle Park. And so now you're paying for that now. So this has been a long-standing problem that just won't go away.
Well, okay. I agree with you. But there's one first round pick that's on the Giants right now that I think has a real shot of making it to arbitration with the Giants.
You're going to say Daniel Suzak, aren't you?
I'm going to say Daniel Suzak. He's a first round pick, Matthew.
He was. And the only thing that was wrong, the only stupid thing with that was that the A's left him unprotected.
Okay, well, so then that makes me wonder, like, you were all happy and excited about our second topic of the day today, the R word. But if the Giants are so bad at drafting and developing players, which the Giants are like one of the worst organizations in baseball at developing players. They just can't. They should literally draft guys and then immediately trade them. That's what I think the Giants should do, because they suck at developing players. But yet somehow you and I, we're going to talk about our second topic of the day is the R word, a word that the Giants ownership never wants to say. We don't rebuild. We just lose. That's the San Francisco Giants way. That's the Johnson ownership group's motto. We don't rebuild, we just lose.
And they have for 10 years. Okay, so congratulations, Giants ownership. You're doing a great job. Now, as a fan, Ben, you tell me if any of these names I'm about to read to you that have been on the team since 2016, which was our last winning season, not 2021 notwithstanding. I'm going to read you a list of names. You tell me which one of these excites you the most. Denard Span, Andrew McCutchen, Kevin Pillar, Evan Longoria, Tommy La Stella, Jock Peterson, J.D. Davis, Michael Conforto, Mitch Haniger, Jorge Soler, Nick Ahmed.
I liked Nick.
Jung Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, and Rafael Devers.
God,
okay? We keep recycling these guys on the downside of their careers or who have never proven anything, and it's because we don't want to rebuild. We want the fans to be excited about Mitch Haniger and Tommy La Stella. Like, come on!
Yeah, no, let it out. Let it out. Okay, I wanted to give you space to do that because it's not often that you do, and I'm glad that you did. But first of all, man, you're putting a lot of people on the same list as Tommy La Stella and Michael Conforto and Jung Hoo Lee. And
they were all names that were signed to multi-year contracts that were supposed to like move the needle, Ben.
Right.
They were supposed to make us competitive instead of developing people, our first round, second round picks.
Okay, and I liked Kevin Pillar. I can't believe they didn't bring him back. What you're saying is, Matthew, is that the Giants have spent way too much time signing veteran players, Jung Hoo Lee notwithstanding, to big contracts or even mediocre contracts instead of letting young players play because they didn't want to wait for young players to develop. They didn't want to take the time to rebuild.
And when you do that, you've got to take your lumps on the major league level, right? You're going to lose some games. But I ask you, what's the difference between the 75 wins or 72 wins and 80 wins, right? I mean, like, would it matter one bit if homeostasis was 74 wins instead of 80? No. It would be the same result.
No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the mistake here was thinking that any of these names, I would say except for Rafael Devers, I think the mistake is thinking that any of these names is the difference between, a 75-win team and a playoff team, right? Like, signing two of these guys is not going to make your team that much better. And yeah, we just see these guys year after year after year. But what you're advocating for is that we stop doing that and we rebuild. Right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, rebuild.
Okay,
yes.
So what does that mean?
That means just letting your record be whatever it is and enjoying the higher draft pick. Now, I get it. The Giants haven't exactly been stellar at developing those high draft picks, but you get enough of them and maybe the sun will shine on every dog's ass once in a while, Okay. Just get a couple of them up into the major leagues instead of relying on, checks notes, Nick Ahmed to be your shortstop.
Hey, look, for about 3 weeks, Nick Ahmed was the best player on the Giants. Okay, what would that mean right now? Let's just say somebody flips a switch and says, we in the 2026 Giants, we are going from the 2026 Giants to rebuild mode. One, it sounds like what you're saying is it means letting the young guys play. So Bryce Eldridge plays every day. Jesus Rodriguez plays every day. Now, yes. Daniel Susac plays every day. Now, Correct. There's a little bit of position clash there, so maybe you got to work that out. And of course, you got your younger-ish players who are sort of established, like Ramos when he's healthy, Casey Schmidt. They need to play every day.
Absolutely.
And so then as the crunches, certain people are going to get pushed to the side, and it means that you move those people away, right? So for the 2026 Giants, it means on the position players side, definitely trading
Luis Arraez,
for sure. Maybe moving Harrison Bader either by trade or by DFA.
Absolutely.
It means it means bench time for probably Matt Chapman, more so than maybe Adames and Devers. But maybe you even start to look for ways to move those contracts. Right? Because if you're rebuilding now, you're pretty much punting on 2026. There isn't going to be a 2027. And so now you've got 2 years of none of those guys producing, and they're going to come back in 2028, and now you're hoping that old man Devers and old man Adames turn back the clock in 2028?
Well, right, but the problem is that Adames and Chapman have no trade clauses. Now, you might be like, oh, they'll want to go to a contender, but who's saying a contender would want them, first? And two, the reason players have no trade clauses in their contract is because they don't want to be traded.
Right. Well, look, there's a solution to that problem. And we're not going to get there yet. Like if the Giants rebuild, I think Adames and Devers and Chapman aren't going anywhere. If the Giants decide to rebuild right now. Right? It's all the easy moves they're going to make right now. It means that Devers, Adames, and Chapman, you're just going to kick that can down the road and try to figure that out in a year or two. But what you're doing is you're doing everything that you can around them. But you make every other move that you can to get your young guys to play, and you get as many draft picks as you can while you shuffle everybody else around. I want to talk about the pitching side, though, because there are some names that I think should be playing all of the time, right? We agree that Bryce Eldridge should be playing all the time. We agree that Jesus Rodriguez should be playing as much as he can given the roster. We agree that Casey Schmidt should probably be playing in the field somewhere. So you move everybody that you need to make that happen for those guys. But on the pitching side, I want to talk about Trevor McDonald, Carson Whisenhunt, and Blade Tidwell. I think all three of those guys should be in the starting rotation.
But then what do you do with the guys that are already in the starting rotation?
Well, I mean, that would mean that you keep Webb and you keep Roop, and you have McDonald, Wisenhunt, and Tidwell as the rest of your rotation. And yes, I know you need depth and all of that, but what I'm saying is that depth, I'm saying is that Wisenhunt and Tidwell are not that depth. They are the guys. Okay? You gotta move everybody else. So you trade Robbie Ray, because he's going to be traded anyway. You trade Hauser, and you say, thanks for the memories, Mr. 1-6 with a 6.10 ERA, Tyler or Trevor or whatever your name is, Mally, however you say it. Go think about that for 7 days while we figure out what to do with you. That's what you do. And you let those guys play. And then next year, you know what you got. Because that's the one thing that Giants really seem to never want to do. They never want to just see what they got. And I get it. It's scary. Because the answer might be not a whole lot. And that's a rebuild.
That is a rebuild. Be scared. Just do it. Because, you know, like, I just feel like they think that Giants fans are dumb. That, like, if they throw out some, like, mediocre has-been player in place of an up-and-coming potential player, that the Giants fans won't appreciate it. And I got to tell you, I'd appreciate it a lot more than the crap they're throwing out right now.
Giants fans want what every baseball fan wants. Hope. You don't watch a game where the team loses half of the games they play pretty much given if you don't believe in hope. That's what baseball fans want. They want hope. And right now, the 2026 Giants look like they're hopeless. A move like this at least gives fans something to dream about. Because they can lose and we can still think, but wait till they're good, these kids. You know, that's what they did in 1986. And look how 87, 88, and 89 went. Yeah, I know. Despite Atlee Hammaker's heroics, they still lost in 89. I know. The A's were really, really good. What do you want me to say? All right, Matthew. Well, it's time to rebuild. I don't I don't think this ownership group will ever let it happen.
Well, no, especially when we got 3 huge contracts on the books for the next, 7 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I know you don't like to talk about ownership stuff, but I'm just going to say it. I think this group is tired. They did a lot. They saved the team. They won 3 championships. They did it wearing a lot of tie-dye. Those were good boomers. Good boomers. You did good. But it's time to bring in some young blood and some real money. I think it might be time. It might be time for this ownership group to hang it up.
And that includes one Buster Posey.
It would include him, unfortunately. And it would be a footnote in his Giants career, but he would still always be a great Giant. But I mean, 10 years of this. Something's got to change. Like, this is supposed to be a world-class organization. They keep talking about it. They keep saying it. They keep saying, oh, that's what we lost when we brought on Farhan and Kapler. We got to get back to that. We're a world-class organization. We're a top 5 team. We're worth all this money. But yeah, but you don't perform like it. And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the owners. You don't perform like it. So maybe it's time to let somebody else have a chance. I don't think that's going to happen, though. Because, boomers, they're always just clawing and hanging on to stuff. Into their graves. So, what happens next?
Still got a season to play, Ben. Still got a season.
Well, we get to see another horrible team come into San Francisco and show us how comparable to them they are. To us, they are. Or to them, we are. Whatever. I put a lot of bourbon in this wine and Coke.
Who is that team, Ben? Who are we playing? Thank you.
The White Sox. The White Sox. So I was trying to set you up.
You want me to say it? Okay.
I don't know what I was doing.
Yes, we were playing the Chicago White Sox Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We thankfully, thank God, get a break on Thursday. May I recommend the marvelous Mrs. Maisel if you haven't actually.
Yeah, you can binge the whole thing. You can binge the whole thing. It's nice. It's nice. It's a good show.
A couple years ago, the Chicago White Sox were the worst team ever.
They were.
Not just in baseball, but ever. And now they're 25-24 coming into this series. Last year, the Giants were 1-2 against the Chicago White Sox.
Well, you know why the White Sox are 25-24, Matthew? Because they were the worst team ever. They rebuilt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got lucky with a Japanese signing that nobody else wanted.
Nobody wanted him. Nobody. And all he does is mash the baseball. Why did you miss on that one, Buster?
Serious. Probable starters for the series: Trevor McDonald versus Davis Martin on Friday. Then Adrian Hauser versus Eric Fetty on Saturday, and Robbie Ray versus Noah Schultz on Sunday. I will say that at some point on Saturday, I think Logan Webb is eligible to come off the IL. So we may see some changes there, but that is what the schedule says.
Trevor McDonald's going to be optioned back down because they're not going to rebuild, and that is what's going to happen.
God damn it! How can you not play your best players? I just don't get it.
Because you signed Hauser because he was value. Matthew, look.
I'm not talking about Hauser. Keep him. There's somebody else that deserves to be booted.
Whatever. Yes. Both of them. They were at the grocery outlet, Matthew, and they got a good deal.
Isn't it time for the booze, boys?
Yes, Bob. You didn't have to yell.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that is called the Kimimochi? The Kalimotxo. It's called the Kalimotxo. What is in a Kalimotxo? Well, it's equal parts Coca-Cola and red wine, Bob. The way I hear it is that you're supposed to use high-quality Coca-Cola and low-quality red wine. I did that, except I didn't. I used Coke Zero, and I used a higher quality wine than so I did it totally wrong, but then I add bourbon to it, and it was all very good. And that's what I'm drinking, Bob. The Kalimotxo.
That's a tasty cocktail. What are you drinking, Matthew?
Bob, I'm drinking a cocktail that's called Call It a Night. Because when I saw the name of that cocktail, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about the Giants. I'm ready. I'm ready to just call it a night. What's in a Call It a Night? 2 ounces of bourbon, 3/4 ounces of sweet vermouth, a 1/2 ounce of sweet sherry, particularly Pedro Ximenez sherry, 1 teaspoon of Averna Amaro. If you've got other Amaros, yeah, try that too, but Averna is what the recipe calls for. And 1 teaspoon of Absinthe for rinse. What you're going to do is you're going to prepare a chilled coupe glass by spraying or coating the inside of your chilled coupe glass with absinthe and rolling it around and coating the inside and then dumping any excess. Then you're going to stir the remaining ingredients in a mixing glass with ice, strain it into a prepared glass with garnish it with an orange twist. It is a boozy yet kind of sweet cocktail, and after that you will definitely want to call it a night. So that's what I'm drinking, Bob. Call it a night.
That's a tasty cocktail.
Actually, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it, and it did the job. It got me a little drunk. And that's a wrap, folks. thank you for joining us. And I mean that. Thank you. Thank you. Because it's like when the Giants are going really, really bad, our numbers kind of just like start to...
They're down 30%, folks. They're down 30% over the last 28 days.
Yeah, and don't blame you. Don't blame those
I'm
who just left.
I'm not blaming them either.
I don't even want to talk about the Giants, and yet you guys are coming back and listening to us talk, so I really appreciate that. We will be back on Monday with more Giants content. But if you can't wait that long, feel free to reach out to us on the socials, where you can find us under the username Giant Cocktails. You can also find us on YouTube, where you can leave comments on each episode and subscribe and hit that little bell. Whenever we publish, you'll be notified. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star positive review. Why, Bob?
It's not positive if it's not 5-star positive.
That's right. It's not positive. It's not 5-star positive on your podcasting platform of choice, specifically Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Ben, it was great talking Giants with you. Until next time, cheers, my friend.
Cheers, Matthew. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. It's time for a rebuild.
Thanks for listening to the Giant Cocktails Podcast. The next round's on me.
I'm really intrigued to see what does actually happen next.
Yeah, I mean, Buster has shown that he's been like swinging big, and maybe he just swings again. And maybe he's one of those ones who'll be like, yeah, I made a mistake. And all of a sudden, Rafael Devers is gone. You know, like, who knows? It'll be interesting.
I mean, he's the only one that he can trade. He's not afraid to make a big move. I wonder how he thinks about the coaching staff. It's pretty clear, though, that like Vitello didn't hire all those guys.
No, it was in consultation with Buster, for sure.
Yeah, and so like...
But I think that, Ron Washington and maybe even, forgetting the pitcher coach's name, but...
Message?
Yeah, so those guys seemed to be good, but then the hitting coach and third base coach and...
The hitting coach is so surprising to me.
Coach.
Yeah, the hitting coach is surprising to me because everybody was so excited to get him, the guy from Toronto.
Yeah. Do you know what? You know who also is struggling, though, in the same way that the Giants are? The Toronto Blue Jays.
Really? Yeah, I did see that the only good guy that they have is this guy named Tyler Rogers. He's like some good reliever that they got.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It'll be really interesting to see what does happen because I don't know what you do here. I would definitely have a big, long meeting with Tony Vitello. And I would have a big rethink of like my coaching staff and my playing time. And I wouldn't be afraid to send a message to the players. DFA.
Have a big long talk with Adames, Chapman, and Devers.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well,
you either play well or you're going to sit your ass on the bench because we can't keep doing this.
Yeah. I think it would send a big message actually if you sat all three of them on one day. Or maybe, you sat like Willie. I think if you sat Willie Adames for like a lot, I think that sends a really big statement. Which is like, we expect to win. That's the number one priority. It's not about being the gregarious. It's not about splashing people with the Powerade. It's not about like
taking the helmets off when they come around.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's about winning.
Yeah, but he wants to chum it up with Mookie at second base.
He can chum it up with Mookie all he wants as long as he's beaten Mookie in the playoffs. And that's not going to happen this year. Is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not.